So basically in your last class, I've shown you how the process or the real-time database through the use of Google Firebase database, which basically allow for our project here, which read the data from DHT, temperature and humidity. So actually any data that you have, like if you have any type of sensor, basically you can just read the data from the sensor, get the data, and then push the data to a database. And in this case, I use real-time database. So Firebase is a good database that if you want to implement real-time system. But how real time you have to test that yourself on your the database, how fast that you can push the data. So in this case, I push the data uh, with the interval of 5 seconds. So 5 seconds, read the data, sensor data, and then push back to the database. Okay, so every 5 seconds, as long as the microcontroller still connected to the internet, you should be able to get the latest data within the 5 second interval. All right. So all the serial print here, you can just ignore. Basically, just serial print just to print out the information, just to debug the information to show on your serial monitor. But it still can work without that. So actually, you don't have to. There are two data that we push to the database. First, we get the data through DHT. And then, but before that, you have to make sure that your Firebase configuration properly configured. Import all the required library, all the object related to Firebase object, and then connect to Wi-Fi, configure the configuration, all the configuration required, such as the database URL and the API key. Try to sign up. So the Firebase sign up function here basically allow you to log in. However, we pass nothing here because this is an anonymous connection. So we allow for the connection to be anonymous. And then we set up the database configuration and connection, and finally connected to the database in real time. Okay, so those are in the setup where we set up things for all the connections parameter. But in the loop section here, in the loop function, so this is where we get the data from our sensor. So whatever sensor that you have there that you want to read from, so that's depend on you and depend on the system itself. And the big if here, this is basically where we check for the database, is it ready or not? So we check the Firebase ready. We check if the database sign up okay or not, but in this case should be no problem because we use anonymous login. And then Millis here, this is basically the check here, basically just to, basically there's no need for this actually. This is just for the loop. This is within 15 seconds, less than 15 seconds, try to check again. I believe this is basically the reason why they use this, to check if the Firebase connection, everything is okay or not. But this is basically the example that we have from RandomNet. This is update the send data previous millis, and this is the data that we want to push to our database. And the way that Firebase push the data is based on JSON data. And here we use, because our data is in integer data type, so we use set integer. So if you want to use string data type, you can use set string. If you want to use Boolean data type, just set Boolean. But at the end, when it's sent to database, actually, it's sent to the Firebase database is basically based on the path of the data. So since we use a fixed fixed device ID, so we can just straight away use 101 and then /humidity for the field, the data field, and the data itself that we get from get DHT. This is just to print out the data, nothing much. So whatever that you want to put it there. And if you just want to know if anything error, you can just print out the error here. The same with the second data. This is for temperature data. So it basically use the same ID. And down here is just a function just to get latest humidity and temperature data. All right, so that's basically how it works here. And this is basically the first part, the first section here. Okay, so we've done that part. So this is our Firebase to store the data into the Firebase database. So we do have some other options that we're going to look later on, but for now, let's start with the Firebase first. And this is how you store data in the Firebase. Any question on this? Should be very, very clear, right? Very clear, simple. But definitely, if you want later on, you want to implement dynamic system, so you need to integrate EEPROM to be able to read and write data, so that you can pre-configure your ESP, your microcontroller with the required SSID, password, and also device ID. Okay, so definitely you need to store device ID. You don't want to keep on compiling for different device. The ID of the device, the 101 here. Okay, so 101, we indicate that this is the ID for the device, so we use 101 here, but this is fixed. But if you want to have a dynamic system, you need to store the value in your EEPROM and read the device ID from the EEPROM before you can just put it here as a variable data. You can just concatenate the value with this, and then you should be able to have the device ID in your in your system. So the database basically just use 101. So if you have like secondary data here, you can just add more data. Okay, so like say like second device is 102, and then you can just add more temperature with like set the pre-temperature value like 24, and then we can add, so we have to add one more. Let's see, to add one more humidity data to 75%. Okay, so it means that this is for second device. This is the first device, this is second device. So if you have more, you can just create as many as you want. Okay, so that's basically how Firebase store its data through, actually this is actually JSON data format. Okay, so if you look at the data structure here, actually JSON data format. And now the second part of the system. Okay, so you have only the first part. This is the first part. Definitely, you want to visualize the data. You're not going to give your client with this interface. Definitely no. So you need another part to be able to read the data. So you need to develop web application or mobile application, the client application, to be able to read the data from here. Okay, so you can use mobile app. Okay, so you can just display temperature and humidity data through an app. Okay, so that's what basically we're going to look in this today. To have a full cycle application, you have your hardware part here, and you have your software part be able to read data from Firebase. But it's going to be a little bit challenge here because it has been a while since my last interaction with Firebase with Flutter. I'm going to use Flutter in this class. Okay, the example. But you can use any. If you want to use a web application, you can use Node.js to Node.js, not Node.js, Firebase library for, I think JavaScript allow you to read data. JavaScript, you should be able to read data from Firebase. There's a JavaScript library for that. Okay, allow you to access the data. All right, so let's see if you are able to do that with. Just check first if we have this Flutter. I hope you're going to learn Flutter later on yourself or on your own. So let's try with Flutter. Okay, so for Flutter, you have to install the following. But it doesn't have to be Flutter. You can use other ecosystem. You can use web application. You can use Android Studio. You can develop even using Python, okay, if you want to. Okay, it's just a front-end application, read data from the database. Okay, so if you want to install Flutter, you can just follow the install Flutter tutorial. So this is just a very rough tutorial how to install Flutter on your system. But unfortunately, Flutter, they can only work on machine with high performance machine, a little bit, mid to high. If you are running on 4 gig of RAM computer, i3, definitely you're going to suffer. The minimum requirement for Flutter is Intel i5 with 8 gig of RAM. That is the minimum. But with that also, your system is going to choke, suffocate. Okay, you need the minimum of 16 gig of RAM, the minimum, to be able to work with Flutter. Okay, like what I have here is 32 gig of RAM, single slot, and I can add more. Yes, I have another slot that I can add. I can add more to the system. Slap another 32, 64. Okay, so with 64, I can do a lot of things, a lot of damage. Right? Okay, so that's the minimum requirement. I hope my students or even your junior, please let them know or ask them to buy good performance computer. Save some money, get at least second-hand computer with good specification. 16 the minimum and 16 single slot so that you have the option to upgrade later. Because usually for your laptop, you have 2 slots of RAM. The large size laptop, the medium size laptop. Don't buy the thin laptop. That thin laptop is just not going to work. Okay. So install for Windows. So it's basically, usually if you want to develop for Android or for iOS application, so you choose for Android. So those are the requirement, even though it says, yeah, the requirement is, there you go, 16. You can go for 8, but no, it's better 16. Right. Display resolution, definitely Full HD. This space, the bigger the better. And M.2. Okay, no, I don't think nowadays nobody run that traditional drive, the old drive, that spinning drive. Definitely that's not the option no more. Okay, so nowadays either SSD or M.2 stick. Okay, all right. So software requirement, you need to install Android Studio, but Android Studio only for you to get the SDK. Definitely you can run Android Studio with all the Flutter plugin, but I don't recommend you to do that. It's very heavy. Android Studio is a heavy IDE to use. Install Android Studio only for the SDK. But if you know how to install the SDK only, go for the SDK only. There's an option allow you to download SDK only, install as bare, we call it bare naked installation just for the SDK. Okay, but you have to understand how to do that. The SDK and the AVD. If you want to use the AVD, if you're running on lower end machine, please don't use the AVD. You need to use your own phone and compile the application to your phone directly. Yeah, you can use emulator, but that emulator is going to be very heavy. Don't use emulator. They're going to eat up your RAM just like cookie. Okay, so emulator, because they are running full flash operating system, a full Android. So if you're running 8 gig of RAM, definitely like 70% of that RAM is already gone. So it left with only like 30% or 20% of RAM to run your Windows, to run your system and everything. That is not the option here. Okay, so you can try the installation, run your project and compile directly to your phone. but you have to know how to enable what we call as developer mode, right? So enable developer mode for your Android. Android allow you to do that, not iOS. iOS is very stingy in that. They hated people, developer, so they make our life harder if you want to run on iOS. Android, no. It's very easy to do with Android, but you have to learn how to do that. Okay, so for the ID, I would go for VSC, Visual Studio Code. All right, so make sure that once you install everything, you need to install the Flutter extension for Visual Studio Code. So make sure that your Visual Studio Code is ready. And then install the Flutter SDK. So either you can download or you can use the git command. So if you want to have more adventure, go for git command. If you're quite lazy, go for download and install. Okay, so this is the adventurous type. This is the lazy type. Okay, so we got lazy type, just download and extract everything into one directory, and then you're good to go. Just set some profile into path into your environment. Okay, so this is basically the path that you need to update. So for Android SDK, so just make sure you need to for the Android Studio, the version that I use is the Giraffe version. Okay, so make sure that your SDK is all good. For example, my SDK manager here. So you install at least one SDK platform. SDK tools, or there's new update for the SDK build tool. Command line is also new update. Because I'm using emulator, I have no issues with my my computer, so I use my emulator here. And if you are running Intel, install Hexam installer. If running AMD, install the hypervisor. Not hypervisor. What is the AMD accelerator? I think this one. But I don't install this one because I'm running on Intel. I'm running on i9. So you can install the Hexam installer here to speed up your AVD. So once you have that, you can test your AVD. Like for example, mine here, I have Pixel. If I want to run my AVD here, you can just test them. Just make sure that your AVD is working. All right, so this is cold boot. So cold boot means that you run from zero, from starting to be able to use them. But this is running on 32 gig of RAM with i9 processor and with 6 gig of graphic. Okay, so you can hear the fan is running because this require GPU. Okay, can hear the fan start running. So if you don't have GPU, you're going to wait like this, like 5 minutes to be able to run this. Okay, like mine, like less than 1 minute, I should be able to use this from cold boot. Fast boot, just immediate. So less than 1 minute, should be able to use them already. So this is my Pixel running full Android, I think Android 11. You can choose any Android that you want to run on this. Even if there's any latest Android version, you can try it on here. You can just download the SDK and then you'll be able to use that. Okay, so you can use this as normal Android operating system. Okay, so those are the application. Just like normal Android. Okay, you have back button here. You have your home button. You have your just like your typical Android. Okay. Right, you can rotate them. You can use sensor. You can test your application with AVD. All right. So make sure that your AVD is working, is running. Okay, and then you can close them. And then your VSC. This is my CMS project, web application. So you can create new project through command palette, and then create Flutter project. So I'm going to create an empty project. It's either if you want to use like Flutter with descriptive comment, should be able to do that. And I'm going to put it into my Git. This one, slump to yours. So I'm going to select this folder where the application is going to be. I'm going to give it a name, Firebase DHT11 example. All right. So this is basically. And then wait for a while. So usually because usually I have multiple monitors, so I can just slide them around. I can just focus on development in one side, and they can see that the output is there. So that's why if you have the money, get your second monitor. Okay, a cheap one also it should be okay, like full HD, second monitor, or you can use the portable monitor. I do have one portable monitor that you can just use USB to project your display to second screen. So the one that cost like 300 something, 360 ringgit only. So it's relatively cheap. But that's basically allow you to bring the device everywhere that you want. Okay. So you can have second monitor. As a developer, second monitor is very important. Even I have third monitor. And even at home, I have like 42-inch screen monitor, Samsung monitor, full, not just full, 4K screen. I can just divide them this part, and then everything in one monitor. And if better, if you have like wide screen monitor, like this big. So you have everything on your, in just one screen, you can just do left and right, and everything can be like, so that's basically developer heaven. As a developer, second monitor is very important. I have to say that. Definitely involve money, but that's very important. Okay? It's basically your investment. Okay? You need to invest in that kind of things. Okay, so now we have the basic code, the basic skeleton of the Flutter application. So it does seems to be quite long, but this is where you start to write the codes. Okay, so it seems like quite a lot of things here, but Flutter is actually quite simple to use. Okay, so all these things here, this is all basically just comment. So I'm going to remove them. This is all comment, remove them, comment again, remove them. It's also the same comment. Because I use to create project with all the helper code, so that's why I get all the codes. So actually I can just use an empty code and create from there. But I just want to show you how easy is Flutter. Right, so this is basically the basic code. So even I'm going to remove this one. There's no need for that. Even the counter here also no need. This widget here no need. This text here also no need for now. Okay, so I'm going to use a bare minimum Flutter code. And the floating button here also no need. So I'm going to remove that. All right, so that's basically left us with this basic code here. All right, so this basic code here, this basically will allow you to run Flutter single page application. Okay, so what we have here is Flutter is a class-based or fully object-oriented programming language. So it's basically a mixture, a marriage between Java and C. So a combination between both. Okay, so it basically full object-oriented programming language, and all the UI basically in the codes. Okay, all the UI is basically the code. So if you're familiar with web programming, they are more or less the same. Okay, they are basically more or less the same. Okay, with Flutter. All right, so now, so with this, I'm going to give it a try to run first, just to make sure that the application is working, the code is working with its basic code. So, all right, run. So I can just select the device that I want to run. So this is basically on my Pixel 2 API 33, Android emulator 555. So the first time when you run your Android application, the first compilation will take roughly on my machine 2 minutes-ish, 1 plus minute. On lower end machine, sometimes it's going to go like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Basically, listen, the first time you compile the app, you're going to take some amount of time. Okay, the first compilation, because you're going to compile this into a binary file. Okay, so you're going to see that the Flutter is going to launch here, and the debug console at the bottom down there should be able. You have to wait for this to complete first. Okay, so let's see how long it takes for me. Like now it's 9:12, and and my fan, my computer fan is running now. Because it needs to compile to Android by using the Android SDK and then produce the installer file. You can see there at debug.apk. So that basically will install here. So that's basically how the things goes. Even the same with your phone. So if you plug into your phone and then you accept everything, okay, so you have to wait also, and then it will appear inside your phone, and depend on your Android operating system. Sometimes they will ask you to allow for the installation. So you have to allow for the installation first. Okay. Okay, so now you can see you have an empty page. So this is just a very empty page. There's nothing here. There's only your app bar at the top here. And this is basically the same with web programming. So you have your title at the top here. And then in the bottom down here, this is your body section. This is where you design your UI. This is where you want to put your UI, everything there. Okay, so how do we write the code here? So like any other application, so you have to start with the UI, the user interface. So you want to have user interface here. Let's say just a simple user interface, a very simple one. There's nothing fancy like a widget, a thermometer widget with humidity widget, like graphic. So those things also available in Flutter. So you can just use them. But here I just want to use a very simple one, just a text base. That's it. All right. So let me just add something here. To add something here, you need to go to what we call as the build method. So the build method here, this is where you design your UI. Okay, this is where you design your UI. So as you can see in the build method, there are two main sections. Right. So the first section here is the app bar section. So this is what we call as widget, app bar widget. And the second section here is the body section. So the body section here is the white canvas here. The app bar here is for the up here. Okay. So two sections. Scaffold is the whole thing here. Basically hold by the scaffold. Okay. The UI here basically hold by a scaffold. Scaffold basically hold two elements. One element is the app bar. The second element is the body. So very logic here. Logical design. So if you want to change something to your app bar, you can change something at the bar up here. So for example, the app bar, you can change its properties. So one of the properties, there are a number of properties for the app bar. So for example, when you want to, let me try to leave it empty first. There's nothing inside here. So the basic widget, or we call it class widget, UI widget, we call it, that's a name of a class, app bar. Okay. So in Flutter, when we have a class for UI, we call it widget. Widget is a class, but UI class. Okay. A class can be a different type of class, data model class. We have a logic class, a controller class. But for UI class, we call it widget. So app bar is a widget. So a class, you need the name of the class with passing parameter. Whatever that you have inside the bracket is a passing parameter. So what passing parameter that you want to pass? So like, for example, at the moment, if I remove everything, everything gone. But it's still there. The app bar is still up here, but we remove all the properties, all the passing parameter to the class. So let's say I want to add something up here. So you just go to the class name and then just press Control Space Bar. So those are the things that you can use for the app bar. So let's say I want to add title for the app bar. So title for the app bar, it basically will provide you with a constructor name. So title is the constructor name. And then the constructor name basically accepted. You can just hover on this. You can see that it basically will accept a widget. You can put any widget actually. So in this case, for title, I just want to have a text. So yeah, as long as it is being supported by the title. But usually for the title, you can see typically a text widget. It says there clearly. Typically a text widget. You can use text widget. But other widget, as long as it can accommodate, it can accept. So I want to put text widget, and inside the text widget, I want to use let's say the app name, the application is about humidity. So DHT app, whatever. Okay. So I'm going to use a static value. Sorry, constant. All right. So save. Now you can see the name of the app bar up there. Okay. So if I want to color this, so I can just change the color. So here the background color, use background color set to blue. Now you have yourself a blue. But you can inherit the color from parent. Okay, but here if you want to have like static color, you want to define the color, you can use blue. Or you can use anything that comes from the primary color, secondary color of your application themes. Okay, you can set the application themes. So if you're familiar with web application development, so for the UI UX design, I hope you learn about this in UI UX. You guys learn about UI UX, right? Interaction design. So you have your primary color, secondary color, and then you have tertiary color. So those are the color, your main color and your secondary color. Yes. So those are the things here. You have background color. So there's so many things that you have to define in UI UX. Right. So those are the app bars. So at most, at its simplest, those two things are required. But if you want to add like an icon, okay, you can add at the at the end here. I want to add something icon at the end. So I can just comma, add more parameter, which is action. So inside the action here will accept an array of widget. So the array of widget here, let's say I want to use icon button. So the icon button is, that's why it's quite hard to have this. Like if I can put it away like at the bottom down here, right? Yes. So that's the thing. So yeah. So that this one I need to define the icon type. So icon is icons dot, let's say ABC. All right. So this is type constant. And on press method here, this is on press method. You can define this create a method at the bottom. So create method at the bottom down here. So there's a method down there you can just access. So when you press, you can see there's an icon button there, ABC. Okay, so whatever icon that you want to use here, the one that already in this system. So let's say we have, do we have a temperature? No, temple. We have humidity, heat. The what? Thermometer, yeah, should be like is it thermostat? Do we have thermostat, thermometer? We only have a thermostat data icon. Something like that. It should be okay. Like this one. Okay. So you can create menu here. If you want that drop down menu, so you can add menu. So the sky is not the limit. It's beyond that. So many things that you can customize with Flutter. So you need to have the idea with Flutter is that cannot be used in Android Studio. If you're familiar with Android Studio, if you want to create like customized UI, it's very difficult there. It's really hard to use. Whatever customized design that you have in your mind, because you are restricted to XML. You have to set your XML to whatever properties the XML provided. But here, you can combine multiple widgets. The widget that they already have, you can just combine them together and create your own widget. So that's the beauty of Flutter. That's why I love Flutter. It basically opened up that capability that I cannot do easily with Android Studio before. Okay, so that's what Flutter can do. Okay, so now in the body section, only things that you have to have like row and column type of design thinking. Okay, because whenever you want to put something into the body of the UI here, so you have to understand that you can divide them through layout manager. There are two main layout manager here. One is row, one is column. So you can have row, and then you can have column. Okay, so for example, row is this way, column is this way. Okay, so for example, like this is the body section. So inside the body section, as you can see here, the body by center, so it means that all the widget inside here is going to be centered. Inside my center widget, I have a column, which means that I can allow for multiple widget to be in column. So inside column, I have this special parameter called children, because column allow children, means that I can have multiple widget inside this column. So let's say I want to have the data here. Okay, so let's say I just want to have a text output. So I'm going to have widget text. So here I'm going to have temperature, and then the value of the temperature I'm going to concatenate from there. Okay, the second one I'm going to have text humidity. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put static value for now. Temperature, let's say 25 Celsius. And for humidity, I'm going to have 75%, something like that. All right, so the best thing about Flutter is that one feature called hot reload. So the hot reload is that whatever that you change in your code, you save the button, you have this immediately appear here. Compared to Android Studio, you have to recompile again. That's the unfortunate thing with Android Studio. Every time you want to test the UI, you have to compile. Flutter, no. Save, immediate output here. Okay, immediate output. So you can see here, temperature is 25, humidity is 75, but definitely you want to get this data from your Firebase. Okay, you want to get the data from Firebase, so it means that I'm going to need a button. So if I want to increase the size, it's quite small, like this size here, this size here. So you can change the properties of your text with text style. Where's my text style? Should be output. Style, text style, font size. Let's say I'm going to set to 24 for now. All right, a little bit bigger, should be okay. So I'm going to take this same style, put it at the bottom down here, save. All right, so there's a double there. Humidity. There you go. Right. Much better. Visibility. So let's say I want to have a button at the bottom down here. When I press this button, I'm going to refresh the UI, okay, with new data. All right, so add another button at the bottom down here. So the button can be elevated button widget, and the child for labeling the button is a text load data. And then we have on press here. This is basically just a method. Okay, so I'm going to create a method on press. There's a method there, should be there. Oh, there's a missing one more bracket there. This way. Oh, dah. But we have, oh yeah, the press there, the name is basically the same with up there. So I'm going to change the different name. Let's say load data method, right? So just call it load data method. So create method load data, actually at the bottom down here, but it still says error regarding, I believe, because of this constant. Okay, because this is not a constant when you have a function inside your class here. So you need to remove this constant. And then this is any static content you need to define as a constant. So this is also the same constant. Okay, should be okay. Now you have a load data button at the bottom down here. Okay, this is load data. So what we want now is press this, refresh the data here. All right, so that's basically the idea. Any question on this? Yeah. So many technology stack that you need to learn. So this is the thing with IoT or with sensor base. So many stack. So many programming stack that you have to understand, you have to learn. I'm giving you the option. Okay, this is for mobile application development, but for web also can. So there's no definition of which stack that you want to use. You can use any type of stack. Okay, there's no limit. Okay, I don't ask you just, okay, just you only use this one. But if you cannot use this one, you can use the web version one. Okay, you can use a different version. Okay, so this is one option that I'm very familiar with. I'm good at. I'm sharing with you. If you want to learn this, go ahead. I've given you the example and everything. You can move from here. All right. Okay, so if you're very familiar with object-oriented programming, this should hit home. This is basically the same. Okay. Why is that the color here purple? Not blue. Inherit. From where? From parent. Where's the parent? The parent is up here. They call it from seed. From seed means that from its parent. So whatever that is, it will supersede, and all the color in the UI will be following that color, deep purple. Okay, because this is the parent. This is the parent class. Up here, you can see this is the parent class. So this parent class is a stateless type. Stateless type, right? There's no state for this. It cannot accept any variable. Okay, everything static inside here. But the home section here, the home, this is home. Okay, the theme is here. This is where you set the themes of your application. And then, like, if you don't want to use that color theme, you can use different color. You can use, let's say, amber. Okay, right? You can see now becoming amber color. Okay, so basically inherit parent. But at the bottom down here, because I use static color, means that this background color will follow this color. But if you want to inherit the color, so you have to use from your parent. Okay, but here I override its parent. This is overriding programming. Your child class override parent class. So this is the clear example here to show overriding. Okay, the parent is this color. Okay, like for example, like your parent is both black hair, but yours is black also. But you override your parent, you color your hair with yellow. So it means that you're overriding your parent color. All right, so that's the thing with programming. You can override your parent. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have prepared the UI and everything already. So now we want to communicate with our backend. Okay, so our backend is Firebase. Okay, so the way that you need to work your mobile application with Firebase, because you don't have to build your backend code. There's no backend here. There's no backend scripting. Your backend already been handled through library. Flutter already provide, Firebase already provide all the bells and whistles for that, so that you don't have to. But it's not that easy as said. You have to know how to use the library, how to call the library, how to integrate the library into your application. Okay, so you are basically calling that library. Everything okay? All right. Again, you have to try this on your own. Okay. Okay, so for that to work, definitely the first thing that you need is your Firebase database. All the key and everything should be belong to you. Don't use mine. Okay, if you use mine, means that you are updating my code here. So that's why through my Git, I remove my credential. So you have to put your own credential, not my credential. So you have your database ready and everything. Make sure that your authentication set to anonymous. Okay, allow for anonymous access. All right, if you don't set anonymous access, you need to provide credential value, either through email, through phone, through single sign-on. So whatever sign-in method that you choose from. But to make things easier, allow anonymous access. Okay, but anonymous means that everybody can access your database, your system. Okay, you're opening up security loophole here. Okay, all right. So how do we add Firebase to our project? So again, I'm going to put it down here. Add Firebase to your Flutter app. So I hope this is the latest documentation. I did before one project that I work with my students for a competition in Indonesia Malaya. So we built the application, a real-time application for water barrier notification system. So if there's a flood or somewhere, so this basically will automatically stretch and then will detect through sensor, and the sensor will update database that the barrier is now working, means that there's a potential flood. Okay, so that's one thing that we work with the students, with one of the project that I built. So we use Firebase here. So I hope they still work with that, can still work. So I'm going to follow this. So you can see all the requirements, prerequisite and everything. So it should be there. Install Flutter also done. I'm done here already. So install the required command line tool. So you need to install the Firebase CLI. So this is the Firebase CLI in your project. So you need to install npm. Okay, so install npm, the node package manager, to be able to install the required Firebase library into your project. You can follow the instructions here. So make sure that you are able to connect to them. Okay, so quite a long process to be able to do that. So it's not easy. It's not easy as like I'm too used to PHP and everything. I can just create the code quite fast. To me, that is the easier route compared to Firebase, because Firebase there's a lot of configuration. Even though small programming required, but a lot of configuration needed to be able to make things to work. Okay, but let's see if I'm able to do that, because I already installed this. I already have my Firebase CLI, so it should be working. Right, so install the required command, log into Firebase using your Google account, running the following command. So let's say like the one that I have here, you can just go at the bottom down here through the terminal. All right, so this is the terminal that you need to access to be able to install, to be able to have your Firebase login. So let me try that, Firebase login. So give the command at the bottom, Firebase Firebase login, right? Firebase login. Okay, so, oops. It has been a while since then. It has been a while, right? So might need to go back. Sometimes I already cleared my right. The first thing that you need to go now is to log in your Firebase. Okay. But I'm having, yeah, to connect to Firebase. I already have the Firebase installed. Do I need to reinstall again? That can be quite a long process. Execution for Firebase login. Let me just try to look around. How do I overcome this issue? Sometimes you can just use after npm. And there's the thing with npm. That's why I don't like much with npm. Sometimes things break. Okay, you might have to reconfigure again when there's new update to the library. So you might need to, like, this one is C set execution policy remote sign. I need to enter. Let me just check on that if I can. I need to enable that through my PowerShell. Set execution access to the key. I need to allow that first. Is the thing that I don't like about this. Means that I might need to go back to the CLI installation. Login and test. Firebase CLI for binary one. First. 146 meg. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing with Firebase library. Last time it's very easy to use. You just import that one file into the project and it should work. But nowadays you need to go through all this BS and then finally be able to use it. Okay, so let's see if I can get it to. I think Linux is much easier to use this. If you use Linux, so much easier because the nature of Linux is terminal. Okay. Get it to work. Just see first. npm install Firebase tool. It takes a while. Definitely it takes a while. Okay, so let's try to go through the installation of Firebase library, Firebase tools. You see the percentage there, down there? You need to log in, provide credential, log into Firebase, and then you should be able to go back to your, and then be able to see the project name, and you list the project name, select the project, and then you can use the library. All right. So npm again install. Try to log in through the CI. No. Script disable. Execution policy. Again, I need to enable the execution policy for my computer. For Linux, you can just use SSH. You can elevate the permission. For Windows, install the Firebase CLI. They already have this. Already have the Firebase tool installed. Run anyway. Is it successful? Got it. Nice. The what? Okay. I try Firebase login, but it still requires for permission. I think one thing is that I just installed the premium Avast, and premium Avast just to detect yes. They block everything. So one thing is that I can disable first my Avast. Ayo. Done, huh? Right. I think my Avast is doing all the hanky panky here. Disable for, let's say, like for 1 hour for now. Right. I think because of that, I'm going to stop first and then reload my AVD, my Visual Studio Code again. Okay, Swan, I can just, sorry, terminal. All right, so let's try the command prompt again. So where is it, the command? This one, Firebase login. Let's try that. No, I need to enable this. I need to give instruction to enable the Firebase. What is the command? This is basically set execution policy. I need to go to pop. I can go to command prompt, but elevate to admin. Oop. Hold on. Dia kena buka. Saya dah enable dah sebelum ni. SSH. No. Arhan dia suruh buka polisi. So this is basically the exact same thing happened to me. All right, let me just say Firebase login. Yeah. Forward. What do we need to do? All right, run administrator, PowerShell. Run as administrator. Yes. All right, so go to system 32. Get execution policy restricted. So just to check mine, get execution policy restricted, definitely. Maybe my latest OS update last time, they removed back the permission. All right, so what command that set execution policy remote sign? Set execution policy remote sign. All right, so default is no, yes to all. Okay. Okay, set to all, remotely sign. Okay, do it again. All right, remote sign. Right, so remote sign, try login again. I think that's the issue. Hopefully. Yeah, that's the issue. Finally. Okay, so for Windows, okay, this is I believe this is only for Windows. So the Windows issue is that they elevate the security, so means that they didn't allow for your terminal to be connected to outside through the remote policy execution. So you need to enable that to authorize that. So in this case, so that I can use Firebase command login to be able to log into my account, which is this account. And then now I should be able to use them for the project. Okay, so that product global activate, Flutter, yes, I think it's already enabled this, but let's just give it a try. Okay, done. And then Flutter configure. So just follow the instruction, Flutter configure. All right. And then initialize, install the required library. So this is basically how do you install the required library. Flutter pub, so which is allow you to, either you want to install it, not here, but you can just use it inside your, sorry, inside here actually. Should be here. I forgot I put it here, just put it into a different location. So should be here, right? Should be here. I need to go back again. Firebase login done. Pub global pub global activate Flutter CLI. I think that's already done up there. Flutter CLI. Flutter configure should be inside here. Fetching all Firebase project. So it will load all my Firebase project. So, and then you need to choose which one. All right. So mine is, you can just go down, ESP, where's my project IoT example? Is it IoT example? So check your project. My IoT project. All right. So my IoT at the bottom down there, my IoT projects. Okay, here. All right. Select the project. Which one? I'm going to select for all, but you can select Firebase project to configure your Flutter application with. So for Android, I'm going to choose Android. So it will basically download all the required Flutter project for that project, for this project. Okay, so register that project with the Firebase so that you can use them with Firebase application, with the Android application. So try to load all. Okay, wait until all the process completed. See, I will also registered with the Mac. I think I need to disable them, but it's basically load everything. But should be no problem. Wait for them to complete. Jump over. Almost there for Firebase application. Even I can run this as a Windows application, but it's not registered. I didn't register. I just enable them. So I just choose Android. For Mac, yes, but for Firebase Web, no. All right, done. Right, so I can run this on web, Android, iOS, Mac, and Windows. Okay, so those are the ID that I can use, but I can retrieve the ID later. All right, so done that part. Add the project to add the Flutter to the project. Initialize for the project. So Flutter pub add Firebase core. All right. Oops. Why is it? Let me copy this. All right, enter. Okay, install. And then Flutter Fire configure. Enter. Yes, it will create Firebase JSON into the application project. Yes, all right. Firebase. Attempt to run command what? Oh, Firebase version. But it's already installed, but it's an error. What's going on? Let me just check on this. Supposed to be okay, but suddenly that. With installing Firebase using binary file didn't work. Firebase login, rename, because all the command basically done. Re-authentication, I think it's already done. Log out and log in. Let's see the project here, project.free. There should be Firebase JSON at the bottom here. This is the Firebase JSON. I have it here. This is for Firebase. It will automatically create it for you. So those are the configuration for your project. Is there already? I have the library installed. So you can see the Firebase option dot there. So means that, and pre-configured with my project ID. You can see that automatically also done for you. But I'm not quite sure why it's spilled out this error. Let's ignore that for now. Let's see if we manage to get it to work. Okay. So we need to import this into our library. So import this here, not here, but inside here where you want to use it. So this is where I want to use it. So it shows that squiggly yellow line there means that it is working. Only unused, import. If red means that it is not being properly imported. If yellow means that it is okay, right? Or yellow, sometimes blue, but usually yellow. All right, so when you import that, it should be okay. You need to initialize in your main class with your database await. So where did I put it into my Firebase? I put it into the in the main method asynchronous. So in the main method here, let me just put down. So this is my main method up here. So this is the main method, and the main method here is to configure with the Firebase, right? To configure. So if I put it just straight away, I need to update for the main method to run as asynchronous. There you go, done. So just change, because when you use like await here, I hope you learn about synchronization, asynchronous and synchronous in programming. Async, await. Ada belajar tak? Dalam Java. You wait for the promise. Ada belajar promise tak? Async task. Asynchronous. Ada. Yeah, in parallel. Dia basically this thing you should learn in real time. You do have real time. Advanced programming? You have advanced. Advanced, you learn about asynchronous. Like you have multiple classes and then you want to communicate between all the classes, and then you have to wait first. Wait for the class to complete and then move next. Wait for the promise. Okay, class and promise. I hope you understand about the promise term. Okay, because we're going to use that a lot. Asynchronous. Because when we talk about internet communication, there's no promise. You have to wait. So when you wait, you need to put your class in await mode, the asynchronous mode. So that class, so that your application can still running, but waiting. Waiting at the background. And wait for that promise. When the promise fulfilled, and then you can continue running, complete the execution. Okay. So this is usually you learn this in real time or in advanced programming. Okay. So because this is where you use it. This is where you use your application to wait for the promise. Okay. Okay, so we implement this in the asynchronous. So when there's a new big library download, usually we stop the program execution and reinstall again. Only small library you can use the hot reload. Big library, big library that you use, you need to stop and then rerun again, because this is a new big library. So you have to be careful on that. All right, so done on that. So I'm going to load the data. So I'm going to use the example that I already have. This one is item builder. My device. Let me just get the value. This is my device value. Where's the fluff? This is the get value. It's nothing. Nothing to be afraid of. All right. So I'm going to look at the library first. We have widget binding. I want to load data. All right. So I'm going to call the method load data. So my load data method is down here. This is another asynchronous method. I'm going to take the object first. Right. So where I'm going to take the object, I want to press a button, load the data. So the button here is here, load data. Put it down here, paste that. All right. So this is the database reference that we need. So we can just import that. I hope the database reference start with this. It's supposed to be there, but if you don't have that, sometimes they don't. So you just import the required library, Firebase database up here. Itulah. That's another thing. Dependency, missing dependency. So, yes. Oh, sorry. Supposed to be up here. Oh, no. I copy already. This one. Oh, it's not available. So I need to install Firebase database. So to install Firebase database, I need to go here, find the library first. All right, Flutter Firebase database. This is the database, and then get the database. Install the database. Flutter pub add database and put it into your terminal. Oops, why is that? Copy paste so many things. Add that first. Hope there's no problem with that. Okay, it's working now. The library is there. All right, install the library first. Okay, we can continue our journey. Go back to load data. Functions at the bottom down here. Create an object, reference object. Go back to the method. All right, so now the reference is working. So the reference object that I'm working now is 101. The object is it 101, right? It's a 101. Go back to real-time database is 101. I think 101. 101. Right. So that's the reference that I'm working. And then I'm going to get the data, event, and the snapshot of the value. All right. So this is await, implement asynchronous to the class. Okay. So that this is now, we create the reference to the database. We have done the connection to the database, get the 101, check the event value, get the snapshot of the data from the reference. Okay. So that's what we are doing here. Okay, so once we have that, I've created a class, actually, a model class here. I just want to retrieve the data straightforward without having to use, do I need to create class? I'm quite lazy in terms of that. It seems to, I think I need to. So I need to create class. Where's my class here? The class is my device. So this is the class that we have. Tak rajin betul nak buat kelas ni. Okay, copy device, tapi cuba kita look at a few things. Not all. Just I'm using this in auto ID. There's no need for auto ID. Let me just get the value first. Let's see what the value being spilled out from there. Share data if data is mapped for each key and value. Okay. Just take this one. First, I just want to print out the value for now. Okay, data is mapped. For data each key and value, we just get the map value. Right, and then I'm going to print the value first. Print key and value. All right, so let's see if we are able to get the value. When we press the button, it should be able to get 101 object and then retrieve key and value that we have in there, so that we'll be able to check the value first, print out the value in the should be in terminal debug console. All right, let's try, cross our finger, get it to run, and hope nothing breaks. Wait for it. It means that we press the button down there, it will call this method, and in theory, should be able to load the data, in theory. Okay, but we have to test. Okay, so wait for the instruction at the bottom down there, and get it to run. But you have to make sure that your computer is connected to the internet. Okay, because this one will require internet connection, require connection to Firebase database, your Google Firebase, and you need to make sure of that. If not, it's not going to work at all. So today, class, you learn about Flutter. Tomorrow, maybe Node.js. So you learn a lot of programming stack here. I didn't limit to any stack. Can use JavaScript also to read data from here, from Firebase. But you need to import all the Firebase library, the JavaScript Firebase library. Right, run. I hope my Firebase. Oh yeah, this is also one thing with because when I first created this with insufficient storage, a lot of Flutter installation done there. So I might need to remove certain application from the library. So let's see from my AVD. All right, so this is not a good things. Expected binder but null. All right, so let's see. Let's clear on this, and let's see if we press the button here, something going on. There you go. There you go. All right, so now we can get a value and assign to a variable. So let me just create a variable somewhere inside my stateful class here, the state class. Okay, so if you just want to display data, this one can be defined as integer or defined as a string. It's up to you. You just want to display the data. If you want to do some operation, you can convert that into integer or whatnot. So you just want to display data. I'm going to use data type string, temperature. You need to define, because Flutter is null safe, so you need to provide initial value. Temperature is just integer value, so 0. Oh, sorry. Initialize to empty, and humidity to empty. Right. That's just that. Okay. And then we want to assign to its value here. So we can just use set state is just to update later. If key is equal to temperature, is it the one that brings temp? Not temperature. Temp is key is equal temp. We just get the value. Is it a key or $key? Just key. We just use this auto code is killing me. We have temperature is equal value dot to string. And the second one, if basically key is equal humidity, this one, and then hum is equal value dot to string. All right, just simple as that. Okay, so and then we want to display the data here, because this one we hard coded, so we remove that. And the same with Celsius, we can just move that. Need concatenate with temperature, but this one we need to convert to string. But this is not a constant, sorry. First thing, because I define this as constant, that one is already variable, remove your constant. This one can be converted into interpolation, and then use this one Celsius. And then this one is a constant, and the bottom down here also the same. Humidity plus hum, same. This is a constant, remove the constant. And this one can be concatenate. This one can be interpolation, and then you can put percentage at the end. So we automatically remove that. You can just use percentage there, and this one is constant. All right, should be okay, I hope. All right, so let's see that one more time. Load data. What's it? Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot. What is it? Yeah, set state. Yes, set state. Implement set state. Humidity is not hum. Humidity hum value. Should be value to string, but I didn't get the value here. Is it the hold on? This humidity. This is temp humidity. Where is it? Oh yeah, no wonder. No wonder. All right. So let's try that. There you go. So if you updated this with your latest device, hopefully they are connected. Ini sama juga ni, dengan goyang-goyang sikit. Sebenarnya Arduino, check Arduino saya. Ni pun satu sebab security allow. Saya beli Avast ni menyesal juga, tapi itulah kalau tak beli sekarang dia buat isu. Alright. Okay, so try to load data, you get change data. Okay, so if we put like higher humidity, you can just blow there and then get the value, latest value that change the value. And you can implement listener. If you want to have like real-time value updated there, implement listener. Keep on listen to the connection. Okay, so every now and then it will automatically update the value there. Okay, so there you go. A simple application that allow you to have a full IoT application. Nak ambil lagi subjek ni. Kena ambil tapi so dah mula risau.